Hi, I'm Rachel Kalis, and this is my presentation on what I would change to the NFL Combine if I were in charge. The NFL Combine is a major event in the football world. NFL prospects typically train at facilities across the U.S. for a rigorous 6 weeks with coaches to prepare for Combine specific events. The Combine is known as the biggest job interview for most of these athletes' careers, with all 32 NFL teams scouting who they want to draft. Athletes undergo medical assessments, are weighed, and measurements are taken. Players also take the Wonderlic test used to assess cognitive ability and are interviewed by NFL clubs. When the athletes get on the field, they are put through the series of events that they have been training for: the 40-yard dash, bench press, vertical leap, broad jump, three cone drill, and 20 and 60-yard shuttle runs, as well as position specific drills. Although the Combine is the biggest event for college athletes to show off to scouts, it has been scrutinized about having limited significance to determine if an athlete has the appropriate physical tools to compete at the highest level. This presentation will examine three of the Combine's athletic events: the three cone drill, the bench press, and finally the 40-yard dash, with recommendations of how they should be changed to better evaluate football players' sports specific athletic ability. Football is a game of quick reaction, prediction, but not knowing what's going to come next. An issue with a lot of the Combine events is that the players have been training for it. They know what to expect. Their footwork and starts have been critiqued by coaches and practiced repetitively. It should be perfect. So the drills, like the three cone drill that are tested in the Combine, just become learned. It completely eliminates the reaction aspect that is extremely important in the game. Currently, the three cone drill is actually four cones in the shape of an L. It is used to evaluate how fast athletes can change direction while accelerating. If I were in charge of the Combine, I would change this drill to an agility drill, where athletes are evaluated how fast they can change direction in response to a stimuli, also while accelerating. This drill could be done in a similar manner. The athlete would start in the same way as a three cone drill. So I have a little animation of the drill I would run. So the athlete would start at the first cone, sprint to the second cone, sprint back to the first cone and touch it, then sprint towards the second cone again. But at 2.5 yards, a light would flash indicating which way the athlete should go. So you can see I have four more cones set up, each with like a little red light. And the light would flash in front of one of them, and the athlete would then have to respond and go around the corresponding cone. This modification in the drill adds a stimuli that isn't constant every time, so it cannot be fully learned. In the game of football, the stimuli would more so be a player, so the difficulty would be increased since they don't know when and where the reaction would have to occur in a real game. The modified drill is not a perfect test of agility, however, it provides a better job of testing reaction time in a more game-like situation, while remaining a fair way that can still be objectively measured in timing. The next event I would change is the bench press. For the bench press, athletes are to press 225 pounds for as many reps as they can until muscle failure. This is used to test muscular strength and endurance. I feel this event is inadequate to evaluate whether a player has the physical ability for the NFL. Football is played in very short, fast, and explosive bursts. According to a Wall Street Journal article, each NFL play averages at about 4 seconds. 4 seconds of maximum effort. Therefore, an event that focuses on endurance doesn't quite translate into what players are doing consistently on the field. In the 1999 Combine, Justin Ernest sets and still holds the record for the 225-pound bench press at 51 reps. But he wasn't even drafted. This example helps to show how even scouts do not necessarily think this event is extremely important on whether a player will be a good fit for their team. Instead, this event could be changed into a more explosive 1 rep max bench press. This could be run by players doing a bench press at their maximum weight for 1 repetition. A 1 rep max gives scouts a better representation of an athlete's strength that would be used on the field. Players would use a maximal power output during this test, much like you would hope they would in a tackle. Finally, the 40-yard dash is the most obsessed about event at the Combine. It is used to test speed and explosion from a static start. Running a fast 40 can move a player up the draft board immensely. Athletes train and train and train like an Olympic sprinter for this event. Everything about their 40 is analyzed by coaches to perfect it. Their start, their split times, to the position of their head to ensure the fastest time possible for the Combine. A fast 40 is great, but when you look at how that would translate into the game, it becomes questionable. If you look at Tom Brady, for example, in the 2000 Combine, he ran the second slowest 40 time of the quarterbacks of 5.28 seconds. Yet, he has 6 Super Bowl rings and is often thought of as the greatest quarterback of all time. It might give you a good look to see what you can run in a straight line, but football is not played in a straight line, said Talvin Austin, a first-round draft pick by the Rams in 2013. The average yards per play for an NFL team is less than 10 for every team in the 2019 season, averaging at 5.5 yards per play, not even close to the 40 yards. So, why is it such an important event to determine athletes' ranking in the draft? I recommend the 40-yard dash be changed to still a 40-yard dash, but with 10-yard increments. The athletes would sprint 10 yards, have a 40-second break, sprint another 10 yards, followed by another 40-second break, and repeat this until 40 yards are reached. This is a much more realistic to yards covered in a play with the allotted time between downs. How fast can a player explode from a static position and accelerate to reach high speed in a short distance that is often covered during a play? This distance would give a much better representation of how a player will perform on the field in game. How quick can they explode, cover as much ground in the short length of play, and then recover to do it again? Once a player is drafted into the NFL, they are no longer working on perfecting a drill. The training changes entirely into working on skills to help their game. So let's just start this earlier with having the combine drills be drills that will help the athletes on the field. They should be tests of what the players are doing consistently and how football is played, in short, fast, strong, explosive bursts. The NFL Combine is a great test of athletic ability, but I think with these modifications, it could help scouts have a better idea of how athletes will actually perform on the field. With modifying the 3-cone drill from a change in direction drill to agility, the bench press from an endurance to max strength, and the 40-yard dash to 10-yard increments representing how plays are in a game, athletes can demonstrate their athletic ability and prove that it will translate into competing at the highest level of football. Thanks for watching!